We'll have boys going in just a second. We're just making sure everything's working first. One moment.
Can you copy that picture of the track and shoot it to me on Discord?
Shit. Come on. There. Hello and welcome to today's first ever regulation promotion race for Deviant Racing. I'm your host Zen, backed up by my good friend and fellow racer Floody.
Good day, everyone.
How are you feeling today, Floody?
I am all right. The weather is beautiful where we're at. It looks like it's beautiful on the track. Interested to see what happens here today on this old relegation race, the future of our drivers.
Yep. 2 racers today will be promoted to Group 3. The guy who finishes in 3rd place will be relegated to Group 4. We should have an exciting race today. 3 men enter, 2 men leave. Our 3 racers today are going to be Preston, who is still sitting in the pits. Oh, about to get out on the track. Berman, who's been doing some practice laps. And Dirksey. All 3 drivers have opted to drive the Toyota Supra today. They had the option of driving the Audi or the Genesis as well, but only went with the Supra. Little information about Preston. Preston finished Group 4 with 2 wins on the season and an overall 2nd place in the Mustang. He accomplished 2nd place by just 3 points over our next competitor, Dirksey, who finished 3rd overall with 1 win in the Group 4 series. He finished above 4th place by a full 22 points. And lastly, we have Berman, our one Group 3 racer who fell below the regulation line this season and managed to stick with the whole season. He unfortunately had to drive the Audi, which really hurt him for the season, so I think he will be much better in the Supra today. I think the Supra is going to be a great choice for all these drivers, and it is nice that all drivers are going to be in the same car, so we don't have to worry about the car being a factor in today's race. Do you have anything to add, Floody?
Yeah, I'll add that this is certainly interesting. Preston, coming from the Mustang, is quite a different drive than the Supra. I'm actually surprised he picked it, just based off what he's used to. The Supra is completely a different beast. Dirksey's going to be an interesting one. He is a military background gentleman, very key on the details. We can definitely see what's going on with him today, see if he's got the military urge to get it done. However, Berman's been a very, very fast racer over the past couple seasons. Him putting it up against Preston and Dirksey, this is actually going to be pretty incredible to see.
Yeah, I'm real excited for today's race. It should be good. I hope we get some nice close racing. This is a very fast track. We're going to follow it with Preston as we go through turns 1 and 2, just kind of an outline of what the race is going to look like for today. We got the long right turn 3. Very long. Just got to hold the throttle best you can.
Now here's a crucial corner here. You have to brake early and turn in and get a good exit speed, because if not, those even small tenths of a time will eat you up, especially in a rear-wheel drive car just like this.
Yep, and here we come into tight turn 5, one of the tightest corners on the track. You really got to downshift low and get a good exit for this run, coming into the kink on what's attributed as turn 6, and then turn 7 right here. This is also a fairly tight corner. It is a little bit faster speed. That would be turn 8, that other side of the kink, and then we come into turn 9. This is a fast corner, generally speaking. You can generally only have to let off slightly as you can get a good run down here into turn 10. Another very tight corner. The heavy braking and the heavy turn into the corner, get a nice run. You don't want to go over that yellow line on the outside. Come into 11 and 12. 12 is a tricky one. I always have problems with turn 12. And then with no chicane here, we have just turn 13 and then 14 on this long kind of double banking right into the long straight. They're going to pick up a lot of speed going through this section. They may just top out the cars entirely by the end of this straight. And so that's a full demo lap. Looks like rough times are going to be probably in the maybe 140 ranges. I don't know if I have any good lap times.
Don't let the view fool you, folks. There is a ton of elevation change on here, and if you brake late, throttle too hard at the wrong moment, you're going to pay for it. So this is truly a track to really discover if you're going to beat the guy ahead of you or not. Right.
This is definitely a track that requires a lot of finesse and a lot of concentration. No two corners are really alike at all, maybe except for like 13 and 14, but every other corner is just slightly different. It should be an exciting race. I'm ready to get started. Hopefully we don't have too much longer to wait here. The tension is palpable. We're going to go off mic just temporarily while we wait for the race to begin. We'll see you shortly.
Woo!
Oh, it looks like we are about to begin qualifying, folks. Or they just reloaded the room, one of the two. Oh, no, this does appear to be qualifying. It is hard to tell from my perspective. But all the cars appear to be pulling out of the lane. We're going to have our qualifying begin here. If you missed our introduction, go back about 10 minutes into the stream. Floody and I did a nice little intro for all the racers and drivers. As we begin qualifying here, we're going to start with Preston. Follow him through the beginning of the outlap. As they come around turn 3 on their outlap, not much really to worry about. It looks like Berman's not even going to really make a run. He's just going to warm up his tires for the following outlap. Following laps. That's probably a smart move. You can also just warm up your tires just by driving hard, like Preston's doing right now. And Dirksy bringing up the tail end. Let's take a look at everybody's liveries here. That's a pretty nice one, the Skyline livery. Berman with the kind of, I guess, a cow pattern livery. It's kind of what it looks like. Oh, it's got GT. Oh, I see Gran Turismo GTs on it.
Yeah, Berman being a sellout today.
I thought he might have been kind of summoning his inner cowhow, former racer of the league. And Preston with the Interstate batteries, very green electric. Very, very nice looking car. Probably the prettiest of all the liveries out today. The most going on, in my opinion.
Now, if people don't know, Interstate is actually not just a battery company, but they actually make a ton of batteries for the OEM applications. Toyota actually being one of them. So, a little tidbit for you. The Supra itself, if those who don't know, it's actually run by a 3.0 turbo inline 6. Actually created by BMW. The platform is a B58 motor. They come with a ZF8 automatic transmission with the paddle shifting, which is a planetary gear system. Not your average dual clutch, but a solid transmission indeed. Now, with the Group 3, Group 4 cars, I'm not actually sure if it retains that, although it could because it's a beefy base. But yeah, Supra, definitely good car. I can understand why everybody picked it. Handles well, good rear wheel drive oomph. You just got to be careful with that throttle.
Indeed. Looks like Preston picked up a half-second penalty. That's going to really hurt him on this qualifying lap here. This is the first lap that's going to count. So having a penalty on your first counting lap is going to be troublesome. He's going to set him back in the positional order. He'll have to have a good third lap. Berman's running a real lap here. He seems to be catching up to Preston pretty fast. And Dirksy's just kind of rounding out the back here. I think he got started a little bit later, so we'll just see what the times are as they cross the line. Not going to rule anybody out yet.
Not sure on the qualifying time total laps myself, but it's okay. This is where you get the jitters out. You got to just keep on, make sure that final corner counts to start your next lap well, and you can just put it all behind you.
Right? It is a 10-minute qualifier, so there's about 7 minutes left. These laps are looking like they're going to be somewhere in the 140 range. Yep, looks like about 140. Yeah, 142.8 for Preston with the first line, and yeah, Berman with a 141.3.
Yes, sir, Zen. Do not count Berman out. He, despite his even being in this relegation race, he is a fast driver when he puts his head into it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we might actually see that here. If I were to bet, to be honest, I'm going to put him on that money. Definitely taking number 1 and going up to Group 3 today, or staying in Group 3 today.
Yeah, I would say Berman is a pretty safe bet for today. That Audi really held him back during the season. I think him in a real car like the Supra today against other Supras, I think he's going to really have an opportunity to shine as he loses it slightly there at the end of turn 3. So this should be a good race. The real question is who's going to finish second? Who's going to grab that second Group 3 position? Is it going to be Preston or is it going to be Dirksy? I think that's the real question for today's event. It's tough to say who, of those two cars who could make it. If I was a betting man, I think I would put my money on Preston at the moment. But anything could happen. We could have a wreck. We could have safety car come out. We could have an incident. We could have all kinds of things occur today when the race gets tight. That could really change things along.
Well then, I actually can't wait for this thing to get started. I know qualifying is super important, but once they go, that's it for me, man. It's going to be hard commentating because I just love watching three similar skilled players dish it out turn by turn. It's so intense.
Yeah, I'm quite excited myself. This qualifying time cannot go fast enough. We're past about the halfway point. Looks like Preston has taken a pit. He wants new tires. I can understand getting some fresh tires on the car while you got some time left. Maybe have another chance for a really good lap too without a penalty. Seems like a wise move to me, as Dirksey looks like he may have taken the second place position time-wise with the 142.3. What is, yep, just barely, by about 0.5 of a second. He has grabbed the number 2 spot in today's qualifying. Berman is way ahead. Looks like he also has a penalty. He's going to lose a lap. He may decide to pit himself at the end of this lap. May not be a bad idea, since he's going to really lose out on this lap anyway. Might as well just pit. The next lap's going to probably might even be screwed up. I guess coming out of the turn 14, you probably will have all the speed you're going to have regardless. But if you wanted to put different tires on, this would be a good opportunity to do it.
Well, I'm very happy Preston came out of the pits. It looked like he almost. I understand the purpose of putting fresh tires on, but he was in there a little while. I am not familiar with the pit times on this track, but I'm just glad he's back out there. Some racers choose to just put their best lap, what they think, and just quit. Good to see that's not happening with Preston. Very good to see him back on the track and giving him another go for the other four and a half minutes.
He really wants that second place position back, that's for sure. I think I didn't notice if he picked up any refuel or not. Hopefully he didn't, because you definitely don't need any more fuel, and fuel has weight. So if you could come out of that pits with any fuel that you had used prior out of the tank, that would actually help you set a faster time after putting on fresh tires. So hopefully Preston just put on a fresh set of softs and was right back out on the track. It looked like Berman also pit. I just noticed that he also had the markings next to him. It looks like he did refuel. He was back up to 99%. So he is running faster than everybody else, so it may not matter, but it could end up catching him. Preston on his outlap post-pit here. He's got to have a good turn 14. Let's see if he does. Pushing it to the very outskirts, very outside of that turn 14.
This is tough, Stan. This is tough.
Yeah, practically running it in the grass. He's really making every inch of that track count.
I meant the commentary, but let's go.
Yeah, my tongue's getting a little tied.
Dirksey holding the middle of the pack right now. Honestly, not surprised. As I said before, he's a military guy. He's very detail-oriented. He is just... the winner, no matter what, if you're fast or not, is going to be consistency. And I think Dirksey actually has a shot at taking first if Berman doesn't have that gall in him.
Yeah, Berman right now is a full second ahead of Dirksey in the splits. Just about a half second ahead of Preston. It's very close. All the drivers separated by maybe about a second and a half at the moment.
Oh, Timid on the comment, y'all be giving us military folk way too much credit. Ha ha ha. Mr. Timid, I'm a military guy myself. No sir, no sir. We gotta back our own.
Timid is a new member of our league here in the chat room. He's I believe he's an actively enlisted military member. I'm not sure what branch he serves under, but that's what I got from him the other day. USA, USA, as we're racing in Spain.
I love you, Glovis. I love you. America.
America.
Zen, do you know where Berman's from?
I don't know where Berman's from.
I don't either, and it kills myself that...
Oh! I'm sorry to interrupt, Floody. Preston sets a new fastest lap time, taking back second place by 33 thousandths of a second.
That is fantastic.
I had to speak up. I'm sorry to interrupt you. What were you saying?
Oh, not a problem. I was wondering where Berman was from. I know he flies the U.S. flag, but I've had very little communication with him, just not being on a team or anything. So I was just curious to know if maybe he was from East Coast, West Coast. However, I missed the comment.
It looks like Timid serves actively in the Air Force. I didn't catch his job real quick. The chat passed a little too fast for me, and I can't look at it again at the moment. But he is active in the Air Force. So thank you for your service, sir.
Looks like Berman is from the West Coast. And Anatole, I've seen a comment you posted there. Totally missed it.
Yeah, the chat flies by a little fast here on the screen sometimes. We're not actively paying attention. We can miss it. I'm quite excited for Preston getting that time back. It's going to be a tight race between Preston and Dirksey, I think, and I'm quite excited to see it. Berman still has... He's just taking a leisurely drive as he's passed the time. It looks like he's completed his qualifying. Preston finishing up. He will pass the line for the last time as he goes around turn 13 and 14 here.
Here we go. Got the chat pulled up on the phone so I can reference y'all a little bit. Yeah, Anatole, Berman lives in California. Yep, West Coast for sure. That, I'm not going to lie, I feel bad for him. Give it up, move to the East Coast. It's so much better, Zen.
Preston set a new fastest with taking almost another 3/10 off his time. Let's see, let's watch. Oh, Dirksey's finished as well, so it looks like it's going to be Berman, Preston, and Dirksey as our starting order.
Preston coming in second over Dirksey is just absolutely awesome. I am very happy for Preston to put his head down. I talked to him pre-match, just a little questions here and there, seeing how he's feeling. He's working on consistency, but glad to see he can focus and lay it down and come in second, because Dirksey he's a good driver, and still got to be aware with him behind you.
Yeah, it's second and third place. Looks like it's going to be quite close. It should be very exciting. It looks like so far our predicted finishing order is coming to fruition through the qualifying, but anything can happen during the race, folks, so hang on. It's going to get crazy. The race should begin here in just a few minutes as the countdown finishes. Woo! Oh, Timid's also from Virginia, Floody.
Oh, you know what?
Fellow Virginian.
That is actually correct. The NFL draft was partaking yesterday, and he asked me in our chat on the Discord why I'm a Washington fan. Well, I reside in Richmond, Virginia, just like Zen here, and I believe his answer was he is north of Williamsburg. So, hello, Timid. We welcome a local yokel.
Yes, indeed.
Enjoy our race today, sir. New to the league, he's seen what it's all about.
I think we have actual competition for which state has the most members now between Virginia and Ohio.
Zen, sorry. Ohio is not even in this conversation right now.
No, I think we got 3 or 4 members from Ohio?
Yeah, we do, but you know what? Your state doesn't count if you don't have an ocean connected to it.
Well, they got a lake. That's pretty close.
Nah, not enough.
All right, folks, we are about to begin the rain. First place is Berman off qualifying, followed by Preston and Dirksey. All 3 racers will be driving the Toyota Supra Group 3 racing car. This should be an exciting race today, folks.
Timid asking us, both Zen and myself, are we going to VIR for the GTWC? Probably not.
No, I don't think so. I'm not even sure what that is myself. I have to be told.
VIR from the Richmond area is actually quite a little ride. Him and I both work a lot, including weekends, so probably not make it. But having another connect in the area, in the car scene, moving forward in the future, hey, we will always be willing to check something out if we plan it ahead. So thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are about to begin the relegation race. Taking a look at our qualifying times and the gap between them, this could be a very close race. Only 3/10 separate Preston and Dirksey.
Well, Zen, this is why we talk about consistency. Berman set a pretty fast lap. A 141.3 to second place is Preston, 142.0. That 0.7 of a second is quite the span.
It is.
But like we were talking about earlier, it's consistency that's going to win the race. If Berman can consistently do a low 141, I think he's got this in the bag. He has nothing to worry about. While Preston needs to pick up that pace just a hair and do it every lap.
Looks like we are about to begin.
Let's get ready to race.
Start your engines, folks.
That B58 motor does sound great when you rev it up too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, these Toyota Supras sound fantastic. The safety car is going to ditch out the back and finish later in the race as we follow Berman down the first straight into turn 1 and 2.
Preston, try to get the outside. Try to get that draft off Berman. Let's see who cuts it tight here.
They rip through turn 2 into turn 3. We are still tight. Only tenths of a second behind. We're going to put on the race details. At least the splits in time. I think we'll leave off all the rest of the stuff just for a nice clean viewing experience.
Berman not taking a gap as much as I thought he would already. Knowing the hardcore apexes of this track, I'm actually surprised that he doesn't have a bigger gap already, but it does look like he's pulling a little bit.
Yep. He's gotten that gap up to 1.3 seconds already. He's starting to pull away. As they head into turn 9, one of the fastest corners of the track, pretty much just a little lit off the gas, and that's pretty much all you generally need to do. Berman's gap is up to 2 seconds.
You gotta wonder, Zen, Dirksey, sitting in the back there.
Oh, he slides a little bit, yep.
You gotta wonder if Dirksey's just gonna ride out Preston's draft a little bit and kind of wait till the straight to take the pass, maybe feel how Preston's racing. This is gonna be the star of the race right here. This is gonna be all the action. Preston and Dirksey.
For sure. These guys are gonna be going back and forth, I think, the whole race.
Yeah, there it is. Berman really with the gap now. This is a tough track. Do not count him first place yet. All it takes is a little too much throttle on this. You hit the sand, and guess what? Your day might just be done.
Yes.
All right, coming down the main straight. Turn 1, pressing in. Goes a little on the outside. Dirksey cuts on the inside. Slows down early, cuts on the inside. Turn 3, coming around. You can get a lot of speed catching up on somebody in this long turn 4, I believe it is.
This is turn 3. All these corners are definitely inherent on keeping good throttle control around the long corner, just kind of easing the throttle to maintain your speed while not over accelerating and getting the car loose. You definitely have to maintain good throttle control through those first couple corners. As they come into turn 5, one of the tightest hairpin lefts of the track, down the straight into the turn 6 kink. And coming into turn 7 and 8. About a second gap between Preston and Dirksey. The gap is definitely beginning to form here, folks.
This is wild, Zen. This is absolutely wild. If I had my money on it, Dirksey would be up towards the lead. Well done on Preston's part, just teeing in there. I'll tell you what, after this race, we have our own season draft. I myself, as a captain, will be drafting some of these drivers into our team going into next season. And, well, if Dirksey loses, he will stay in the slower Group 4 car. But I'll tell you what, because I know how Dirksey is, he might just jump off my draft board right here.
Yeah, if Dirksey ends up in Group 4, I think last 2 seasons being telling, he should be the #1 driver in that division. Not counting any of the new drivers who may just surprise off the bat here. But with Cam being promoted automatically to Group 3, and at the moment Preston looking like he's going to be into Group 3, that leaves Dirksey as one of the faster Group 4 drivers remaining in the pack. So he could be a top draft pick heading into today's fresh draft for the new season.
And an unofficial sponsor today would be Sony, because we are doing this all on the PlayStation Series consoles. But I do have a note for Sony. Hey, can we get dual mic support here, please? As live streams get more popular, especially racing, it'd be great to make this easier. Thanks, Sony.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on that one either, but man, if I spent a whole bunch of money on a nice setup, we could probably get a dual mic setup going on, but that ain't happening yet. Maybe someday in the future.
Well, Zen, I want a real race car too, and that's out of the question at the moment also.
Right? So many things are out of the question until we win the lotto. Oh, the hard braking corner. Preston and Dirksey are right alongside each other. This is still quite close. Dirksey has come back and filled in a little bit of that gap. Either Dirksey's driving in Preston. Oh, Preston looks like he went excessively wide on that corner. That might bite him as Dirksey gains a couple more tenths on him. This is definitely going to be a close race between these two drivers, folks.
Well, this is exciting right here. I believe the draft in Gran Turismo comes as long as you're within a second behind. So Dirksey should be in his draft.
Oh yeah,
he's make this quite closer here.
He's gaining on him. If you look at the splits up at the top left, he is definitely gaining on him at the moment. He's definitely in that draft. Preston goes as wide as he possibly can for that corner. Man, I hope he kept the tire inside the white. That was really close.
Now, this is where the military experience comes in. You are used to high-stress environments, so Dirksey is actually driving very smooth, and I can tell Preston, with Dirksey behind him, is kind of freaking out just a little bit. Preston, I know you can't hear me, but just breathe and be a good driver, buddy.
It's definitely close. Let's check in on Berman. He has pulled away with a humongous lead.
God.
He's up to 9 seconds on the other field. He is going to run away with it, looks like, folks, unless he has a major slip-up and goes into the sand or falls off the track. He is just gaining time every single lap.
Well, Zen, we had
quite impressive.
We had a state argument earlier, but looking at Berman's 9.3 second gap at this moment, all I have to say is for you Ohioans, yacht!
All right, we're coming into the tight turn 10. Preston and Dirksey still neck and neck. Less than a second splits them. Oh, Preston way off the track. That could be a penalty. Dirksey's going to take the inside.
Oh.
Yes, he sneaks around him as Preston was looked like he was kind of waiting for him there as he went off track. Was wondering where Dirksey was. Dirksey makes the move, completes the turn. Does Preston pick up any penalty for going way off track? No, it looks like he slowed down enough to not be penalized. We have a position change. Dirksey now in second place. Preston right behind him. 3/10 split these two drivers. This is going to be neck and neck for the full 30 minutes. It doesn't get more exciting than this, folks.
Zen, this is why we're here. This is the shootout right here.
Oh, Preston makes the move to the inside.
Turn one, who's in?
A little bit of, maybe a little contact there. Dirksey has the inside on the follow through. They're coming into turn 3. Dirksey has it. He has just a 1 car length. Can they hold the throttle? And Dirksey comes out of turn 3, still in the lead. What a series of events that was.
Cam saying that someone's got nitrous. I'll tell you what, if it was Preston, too soon, Junior, too soon. Oh, Berman must have nitrous, yeah.
Oh, Preston overcooks the corner a little bit. Dirksey's going to get a gap here. Going to be up to almost 0.8 of a second going in again to, turn 7 and 8.
This is the time where Preston needs to focus. We still have plenty of fucking driving left.
Yeah.
Excuse my French.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left in the race. Preston really does need to buckle down and see if he can catch Dirksey.
But makes you wonder, will he sandbag it? Because if Preston continues in Group 4, he will certainly be at the top.
Yeah, he would take that spot from Dirksey instead as the top driver in Group 4 for sure. He had 2 wins last season. Without Cam in there, he could win every single race.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And every season that you race, you get a better idea on tire strat, fuel strat, and I think he's come a long way.
He went over the white on that one with his right set tires. He might be penalized. He is definitely pushing it to the track limits on every corner.
Now also, another angle of this Gran Turismo racing, you have a wheel setup or a controller. I believe my man Preston here is on a controller where hand fatigue is a thing, and if he's just 2/10, that can also affect your time in racing. Dirksey himself, I believe, just upgraded to a Fanatec, if I'm not mistaken, or at least a better wheel. So he does have a little advantage if he's calm, being that if you screw up, you don't have hand wear, a little easier to for the inputs.
Yeah, the general classic battle of wheel versus controller. It's really all about what you're best at, what you can afford, and what feels comfortable for you.
But don't lie, Zen. Zen has both driven wheel and controller.
I have driven both. Currently, I still prefer controller for my faster times, but I have not given up completely on the wheel. Once we get a upgraded pedal setup, it should be hopefully a better experience.
No, but Zen, you are super quick on a controller.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I have been driving on a controller for a long time, ever since Gran Turismo 1, before they even had the analog sticks. I was driving on a controller, so it is definitely a new experience going to the wheel myself, and takes a different skill set. I wish it was more like a real car, because I feel like I can drive a real car a lot better than I can drive the rigs, but, you know, it is what it is.
I understand, Zen, I understand. You are the grandfather to me of Gran Turismo. He handed off the reins many moons ago, taught me how to race, taught me how to drive a Viper, taught me how to get in there.
Now this man's faster than me.
Only if you're on the wheel, Zen. Only if you're on the wheel.
That's not true. Only if we're in a race car, any Group 3 race car, you've been beating the snot out of me lately, so you've surpassed my skill as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'm guessing lucky we don't have a Dodge Stealth. Way back in the day, old Zen in real life,
oh man,
him and I got in one, and we blew the doors off with that thing.
That was a fun car.
It was fantastic. But back to the race here.
Yeah, back to the race. We are still about a second split between Preston and Dirksey. Lots of time left in the race. We're only on lap 7. Haven't even passed the halfway mark yet. I'm really not sure how many total laps we'll be looking at today. Could maybe pull up the calculator and find out. Let's do some quick math while the race continues. See if we can figure out how many races we should be expecting. Races. How many laps we should be expecting.
Ooh. Preston's still in behind, getting a little wobbly through these corners. My poor man is probably frustrated. Just take a deep breath, homie.
Looks like we're going to be about 17, potentially 18 laps by my mathematical calculations. Cam came up with 19 to 20. We'll see who's right. I don't believe there's any tire wear for today's race. Oh, they do have tire wear on.
Holy crap.
That means they will have to pit at some point today. Just for new tires, because those racing mediums don't look like they're going to last the full 30 minutes, that's for sure.
Oh, that makes one wonder what the fuel's looking like. I know Group 3 is a little more advanced on it. Oh, no, that's right, we do have a little gauge.
Yeah, we don't have the exact percentages, but we do see that Preston and Dirksey are both about a little past 50% fuel. Looks like Berman already has committed to a pit stop and has come out of the pits behind the other two racers, so we've had a position shift there as well. Berman now in the back after the pit stop, looking to make up some time, but I don't think that'll be a problem for him. Preston's left front tire is completely worn. Dirksey's is holding up quite a bit better on the same set of tires. That might just be the controller wheel tire wear difference showing its head there.
Oh, yeah. Someone just turned red completely as we were talking.
All their other
Preston's
settings are all the same, so it really is got to just be the controller difference that is causing that difference in tire wear.
Well, this is it for Preston. He's got to pit here now. His front left is just absolutely done.
Yeah.
He is done like someone going in for a state inspection and has no money to buy a tire. We are finished here. He needs to pit.
Oh, yeah, he's struggling to hold that corner with no wear on that outside left tire. He's going to have to pit here. The question is, after the pit, can he finish up on one more set of tires? We're at 14 minutes into the race with the pit stop. I think, just barely. He'll probably be pretty much dead tires by the end of the race, but I think all he'll need is one additional set. It's going to be quite a bit easier on Dirksey, whose tires can go a couple laps longer. He could go at least another lap or two before even having to consider pitting. Preston waiting to pull up in as he gets passed by Berman, of course, who's on racing soft tires himself. He's really going to try to make this go. He might even try for an extra pit stop. I don't know if he started the race on softs or mediums. We did not get a look at that. Preston is filling up the gas tank at the moment, only to 77%, so it looks like he's calculated exactly how much he needs to finish this race.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I think if he calculates just enough, he should be able to pass through with the minimum weight needed to maybe gain some time back and not really run out by the end of the race.
Looks like they all started on medium tires. The chat informs us. Thank you, chat, as always, for providing that extra bit of information when we screw up. So we have a definite leader change in the moment. Dirkzee is in first place, having not pit yet, being the only car that has not pit. That left front tire is starting to get questionable. He's going to have to consider it soon. Berman has already completed a pit and is on the only car on racing soft tires. We'll see how long they last. I don't think they're going to last till the end of the race. He may have to pit an additional time, or he's going to have to run on what we would consider dead tires. Or maybe his tire wear is just, he's calculated it enough to make sure he can last the full duration. We'll have to see what happens. Preston also put on racing soft tires out of the pit and only 77% fuel, so he might be dialed in for the rest of this race. It's really going to matter when Dirkzee comes into the pits. That's really going to when things are going to get shaken up, and we're going to see what the positional order is going to probably be from that point till the end of the race. I don't anticipate an additional pit stop unless everybody's screwed up on their racing soft tires.
Well, Zen, this announcer's going to go take a potty break while we have kind of a break in the track here. Because of the pits, everybody's kind of separated. There's no major action going on. Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
We'll see you soon, Floody. I'll try to keep everybody entertained while you're away. It is questionable whether Berman tires will make the full, basically 15 minutes of race that remains from when he put those tires on till the finish. He may have come in too early. It is definitely possible. Dirkzee making his mediums last as long as he possibly can. That's probably the way to go. When he puts on soft tires, which I hope he does, to match everybody else, he will have the freshest soft tires by the race end that anybody else could have. So it should be interesting to see how all this plays out. A lot of space between the cars at the moment. Will Dirkzee pit on this? No. Oh wait, yes he is. Yep, he's going to take the pit stop. Let's see what tires he gets. Probably racing softs, I would hope, and see how much fuel he puts in. We'll keep an eye on him in the window there as we follow Berman, who's going to pass Dirkzee while he sits in the pit. Preston coming around 13 and 14. It's going to really be interesting to see where he is when Dirkzee comes out of the pits. Dirkzee is pulled up. He's getting his tires. Preston comes around 14 and is going to make the pass with Dirkzee in the pit. Looks like how those soft tires have allowed him to gain a couple tenths or a couple seconds perhaps on Dirkzee, who was still running on those medium tires. Dirkzee comes out on softs also at about 78% fuel. That might be an overfill since Preston put 77% fuel and pit about 2 laps prior. Dirkzee may have put more fuel than he needed, but at least he didn't fill up the tank. There is a 6.2 second gap between Preston and Dirkzee. That's a lot of time Preston was able to get on Dirkzee while Dirkzee was still running on those medium tires. Getting on the soft tires sooner may have been the play. We'll just have to see if they last till the end of the race.
All right, Floody back here. Got a little drink energized going on here. As I come back, I see Preston's got the gap on Dirkzee. Super awesome. Well done, Preston. Berman, as no surprise, not driving an Audi, with a 24-second gap. He said, "Screw y'all, I'm out. You think I'm going to Group 4? You're insane."
Yeah, there's Preston. Berman was not having it today. He was not about to go to Group 4. He's saying Group 3 is where I belong. You are not relegating me. I'm going to show you all what I can do when I'm not driving an Audi. Almost 25-second gap on Preston. That is quite the spread.
Now another player, another driver in our group, Bad Rock. Shout out to Bad Rock. He too was driving the Audi this season. Also got torn down. Moving forward in our draft, I think Berman's here is actually boosting Bad Rock's game skill. As they both had the Audi, and seeing Berman just do so much better not in the Audi, I think that's boosting the stock potential of Bad Rock himself as well. Gentlemen, I just want to say I'm watching both of y'all.
Yeah, it would definitely be wise not to undercut Berman in the draft later on today. His performance today is definitely showing what he's really capable of doing when he's put in a vehicle that is able to be driven, as opposed to the Audi, which pretty much just slides all over the track.
But I see you, Dirksy. As military guys, we're also strategists. I see you sandbagging out there. You're trying to kill Group 4 next season. Cam Zilla, the prior Group 4 champion, set the fastest lap in almost pretty much win record almost at once. But there's still some records to beat. Maybe Dirksy's thinking, I got you, homie. I got you.
Yeah, Dirksy's closed the gap a little bit here on Preston. He was over 6 seconds. It's down to almost about 5.5. So he is closing that gap as time goes on. That could be the fresher soft tires. It could just be better racing. Preston's left front on the racing soft is starting to degrade. It's less than 50%, and we still got almost 9 minutes left in this race. I don't think that tire is going to last. We got somewhere in the vicinity of, 5 to 7 laps remaining. Berman's tires are about the same as Preston's, almost identical at the moment. I would say those softs still got life in them. Until you get down to the really whites, the little sliver of white, I generally find the tires are still remain pretty responsive. I mean, you get a little bit of slippage here and there, but it's generally about the same as far as I'm concerned, at least.
Yeah, so now if we were in the Audi, as Berman is used to...
Yeah, that back rear tire.
Yeah, they would be absolute toast by now.
Yeah, they would slide all day. All you got to worry about with that front tire wear down is that understeer on the corner exits. As long as you approach the corner, as wide as possible and dive deep into those apexes, you really don't have too much to worry about.
All right, let's jump back to Dirksy here.
Preston's tire, man, that's not going to last long. Dirksy's tires are very fresh. He is catching up on Preston, still about 5.5 seconds behind.
Yeah, we are watching. It's hard to see the drivers apart because we have to keep scrolling through the screens. But looking at the top right map, I feel like the gap has been closed just a hair between Preston and Dirksy. And let me tell you, this race ain't over.
Nope. It definitely is not over. Anything can happen, especially with this tire wear that Preston's experiencing. Man, if he can't make it to the end of the race and he's going to have to pit again, that could be the day for him. He could have thrown himself away with an unfortunate pit strategy. That would not be a good time for him.
Honestly, I think it. Wait, who? Berman?
No, Preston. Preston right now, that front left tire on the racing softs, that doesn't look like it's going to last 7 more minutes. He's going to have to pit again for another set of tires. Unfortunately, I can't check the brake balance or any of those settings unless they have it shown on their car. That definitely could be a factor, but it is one I am unable to check.
Cam, knowing Preston, being back and forth all season on the podium times for Group 4, says that Preston's good to run him red. Now, Preston did come from the Mustang, and if he can do that, if he can run reds in the Mustang, you can certainly run reds in a Supra.
Oh, Preston apparently in the chat said he put on the wrong tires. No wonder, folks. He put on the soft tires, accidentally meant to put on the mediums. That might cost him. He's going to have to just run those red. There's really... Saito says pitting. That I don't know if I'm getting transcribed information from the racers themselves or if people are speculating.
Oh, so maybe Preston's sandbagging here. Maybe Preston's sandbagging.
I don't think anybody's sandbagging. I think everybody's running as fast as they can. I think Preston just unfortunately has the wrong tires that he didn't want on, and that could cost him if he has to pit again.
True, but don't forget, by losing here, you could be at the top of Group 4 for the next season.
Yeah,
that in itself is a strategy.
Yeah, being the king of Group 4 is the way to go. I mean, it definitely feels good to win every race. I'm sure Cam could attest to that.
Yeah, being a team captain, if you have a strong Group 4 candidate down in Group 4 taking the first, that's easy points for the team overall. Yeah.
Preston is not a happy camper as that left front tire is completely dead. We got 5 minutes left to go. He has given up tons of time to Dirksey, who has crawled up under 4 seconds. His tires are still got a lot of life left in them as I struggle to speak. Berman, a full 24 seconds ahead. His tires are shot too. Will he pit or continue to go? He might as well just continue. I don't think anybody's going to catch him.
If this were real life, and if I was Preston looking at that, I would just jump into the pit, jump out of the car, punch Clovis in the face, take the safety car, and get his fresh tires for a time saving.
Right. Just jump out, jump into the safety car, and finish the race. That sounds like a great idea. That's pretty much the only way he's going to get fresh tires at this point.
I'm all about the effort.
Anatol wants us to remember he is not out of the running for possible finishing at the top of Group 4, having finished in second place in the end of the last race of the season. He's going to come on strong in Group 4 next season himself. Wants us to not forget him. I see you there, Anatol. We couldn't forget you if we tried.
Now, interesting to note, go back to Preston's end. If you look at the time gap, Preston, on red tires, is actually catching up to Berman. He's already killed off a 4 or 5 tenths of a time off his game.
That is true. Berman's tires are no joke either. Berman's tires are just as red as Preston's are, for the most part.
Sorry, we're trying to avoid a Besso here.
Yeah, we're trying to not have our power shut off by a sneaky little animal. I'm going to kick him out of the room. All right. Don't want him to hit the power cords and knock my power out like yesterday. Okay, so, yeah, Berman's tires are just as shot as Preston's are. They're both having trouble. No wonder Preston's catching him. Berman's having to slow down just to keep his car on the road, too. Dirksey is only a second and a half behind. He is right behind Preston, and his tires have tons of life left in them.
Well, here we go. Dirksey pulling on the inside. I think he understands what's going on.
Yeah, Dirksey has realized that Preston has been struggling. We're under a second. He could make the pass at any corner here now, folks, as Preston is going to be struggling with that car. We're on the 3-minute mark.
Well, no, this is interesting.
Under
too.
3 minutes.
Dirksey himself is getting low on tire wear. Preston is doing a hell of a job even staying forward with them red tires, but Dirksey having the advantage on the wheel and the better tire wear, he's coming on his own here too. We still have some race left. He could be dead. This could actually be a stalemate. Let's see what Dirksey pulls out of his butt.
Preston defending heavily in to turn 10. The tight one. Oh, Dirksey gets the inside on the exit. Takes the inside. Does he have it? Yes, he does. He is in front. Preston drops back behind Dirksey. Dirksey has taken the position. We have 1 lap remaining. They're going to cross the line with just under... It's going to be close. There may be an additional lap after this one, but it looks like it's going to be very close. 1:30, there's pretty much no chance of an additional lap after this, so 18 is going to be the finish. Berman might have an additional lap, but who cares about that at this point? We are just watching Preston and Dirksey. Preston struggling with the tires. They're definitely biting him here at the end of the race. He definitely has the fuel to make it. Dirksey had a little bit too much fuel, but he definitely has the tire wear. Looks like he's going to continue to pull that gap, stretching it out almost already to 2 seconds. Yeah, it looks like Preston is definitely struggling with those worn tires to make it around these corners. We're going to follow Berman as he finishes the race. Coming around the last sequence of corners, turn 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. The long, awkward 12. As he takes corner 14 and down the straight towards the finish line, our winner, who's gonna sit at the finish line. All right, so our winner today is Berman. He moves on to Group 3.
Woo, Berman!
Or rather, he stays in Group 3. Dirksey coming around the last corner, followed by Preston. He is promoted to Group 3. Preston remains in Group 4. That is our race today, folks.
Thank you.
What an exciting race.
I want to say thanks to all the viewers for watching. I am going to jet out here. I have a draft to do, but outstanding job, gentlemen. Berman, Dirksey, Preston. All getting out there, showing what you got. I love y'all. Thank you, viewers. Floody out.
Have a good one, Floody. Good luck in your Mazda race.
Okay.
Congratulations to all the drivers today. Looks like an unfortunate tire selection was the determining factor. It's definitely been an exciting race. We're just going to hang out for just a couple minutes until we get the final results screen. We got to just wait for this race to time out. It's been a great time. I've been your host. I've had a lot of fun today. I enjoyed reading all the chat. I don't know what else to say. Have a good rest of your day. Good luck in the draft coming up, folks. Have a good day.